Welcome back to another mini episode of VGX on the Hunt. Today we are in Illinois as part 2 of this kind of road trip that we've been doing. We started this morning in Bloomington, Illinois, and hit up a few places. And let's just catch up on that a little bit. So started off at a pawn shop called Monster Pawn. Not much in there. It was one of those pawn shops where everything's so cheap that it was really picked over. There was not much left. Even like a lot of their PS3, Xbox 360 stuff was pretty much the bottom basement junk games. Because all the good stuff comes in and they probably sell it for $5 and it's gone. But anyway, they had a bin full of $1 video games, which you can't argue with $1. I mean, pretty much anything is worth that. But we got games like Yakuza for PS2, Iron Man, Fable 3, Need for Speed Underground, X-Men for Xbox. Nothing real grand or spectacular, but for $1 you really can't complain. And then we went on to a place called Bobz Bay, I think the name of it was. It's kind of a strange little name shop. It's kind of downtown in Bloomington. So it was kind of that hipster style shop, kind of a little bit more, how do you say it, trendy. But the prices were probably about 10-20% more than internet prices, which I pretty much expected going in there that was going to be the case. I did pick up some disc-only PS1 games that were moderately priced, and then they had a whole stack of 3DO games, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, well, it doesn't matter who's going to come through this door. Not many people are going to buy those 3DO games. So I said, if I buy a bunch of them, would you give me a deal? And of course he did, because you'd be stupid not to try and sell your 3DO games to somebody that is actually asking about them. Because I wonder what the percentage of even the people that buy a Super Nintendo game or old school retro games in that shop actually even know what a 3DO is. But anyway, picked up, most of these were a couple bucks a piece, so you really can't argue with that. Out of This World, which I have to imagine this game plays pretty well on the 3DO. I'm kind of excited to try it out. I've played Out of This World many times on other platforms, but excited to try it on the 3DO. Burning Soldier, which is actually pretty hard to find one for the 3DO. I don't think I've ever seen it. Total Eclipse, not sure what that one's about, but came with the manual even, not too bad. Stellar 7, which I can't find this game hardly anywhere online even, so I have to imagine it is pretty rare. Now, rare in this case does not mean sought after either. I could have this up for sale for forever and nobody would probably even want it. But it's cool to add to the collection if you guys have a 3DO. Maybe try it out, just see what it's about, rent it from us, and maybe you will know more about it than I will. You probably already do, but either way, it looks like a pretty decent game to try anyway. And then we ended up coming on down to Decatur, which is about a half hour south of Bloomington. And our first stop there is a Best Buy, which if you follow us at all on these episodes, you'll know that we have the Gamers Club Unlocked, which is their rewards program at Best Buy. It's pretty expensive now. We got in when it was cheap, but I think it's $120 for 2 years. But you get 20% off your new games, and that's totally worth it for us, and it's probably totally worth it for you if you buy a lot of brand new games. So, I don't know. Something to think about, trying to save you some money. But anyway, for us it works out awesome because we get games like Theatrhythm for 3DS. This was less than $20, which is pretty good price for that. I have not played it. I love my Final Fantasy, but the art style kind of just rubs me the wrong way. Then again, a lot of Final Fantasy art kind of rubs me the wrong way, even the real stuff. So at least they're trying something different with it, right? And then the other one is XCOM Enemy Unknown, which is one of my favorite strategy games in quite a while. Fire Emblem definitely tops that, but this one was definitely kind of in the same panic mode where in Fire Emblem you're worried about somebody dying. This game also has that, but also a lot of I feel like you can't get everything done. Like, this is not a perfectionist game because rarely are you going to end up doing it perfect. And that's kind of the point. I mean, aliens are attack, you're going to mess up your strategy somehow, and just don't have enough time to do it all. So if you have problems with that, not being able to do everything in a game, not be able to min-max everything, this game is probably gonna rough you up a little bit because, yeah, you're not gonna be able to build everything that you want without making somebody unhappy. But that's part of the game. That's part of the, managing the stress of the game. I thought it was fun, but it might not be for you either. Definitely, certainly easier than the old ones, though. Holy cow, I tried playing the old ones recently, and after this, I can't go back, I don't think. Sorry, can't go back. But yeah, we have a couple more places in the indicator here that we are going to try and see if we find some more games. So, stay tuned for that. Okay, there's a used media shop here in Decatur called Disc Replay, and easily the best one on this whole trip as far as those used media places go. This one was pretty awesome. Their prices were very, very fair. Even like all the Nintendo stuff was below internet price, which is awesome. I did buy some of it. I left some of it for a lot of other people to come and pick it up too. But I highly recommend going into that Disc Replay store if there's one near you. I know it's a chain. We will be going to more, that's for sure. But anyway, highlights for this one was Mega Man X, Zelda: Link to the Past, both $20. Can't argue with that. And like a lot of stores now, they heard, oh, GameCube games went way up. And they did during last Christmas, maybe even the Christmas before that. They really took a jump and have kind of stayed there. But most stores that I go to, they've doubled their GameCube prices just to keep it in stock, I think. But anyway, this one was not that way at all. Pokemon Coliseum, $12. Mario Sunshine, $20. And both of the Star Fox games for less than $10 a piece. So yeah, and I picked up probably 10 more PS2, PS1, DS, PS3 games. All very fair prices. Generally probably about 20% under internet prices. Very fair. Yeah, really happy about that place. Highly recommended. We will be going to at least one more today, I think. So, yeah, let's see what we get at that one. And we're downtown Springfield, Illinois at a record store. Pretty cool in there. It was called Recycled Records. A lot of music and CDs and stuff like that. An older building, but Still awesome to see a lot of that stuff in there. They had some video games, retro games were pretty high priced. They were kind of shooting from the hip, and if they didn't know, they just went high with it. But that's fine. Did pick up a couple games. The one I want to talk about is Age of Empires Mythologies for the DS. Don't know much about it. I loved Age of Mythology back then. Still play it sometimes. I'm glad they made an HD version, but we'll see how well it's received before I pick it up. But I'm interested in trying this out. I'm not sure what exactly it's about. If it's just like the old Age of Mythology or not. It's tough for me to tell. The funny thing is they went with Age of Empires Mythologies, like as if Empires was the brand name and Age of Mythology never really existed. But nonetheless, we got that for $6, and this is actually one to keep your eye out on because it's about a $15 game nowadays. So yeah, pretty happy about that place. Kind of cool to see that. But on to the next one. And we're in Jacksonville, Illinois, and just got over to a pawn shop called Pawn King. It's a local chain, has a few of them here and there. Their games are flat rate, across the board, PS3, even all that newer stuff. I think it's $10. Guy gave me a deal. He gave me 2 for $10, which is you can't argue that. Kingdoms of Amular Reckoning, great RPG, action RPG. It kind of part of that Kurt Schilling debacle, where he purchased this game to set and developed it to set up his MMO that eventually never came out and bankrupted a lot of people. And the other game, Crash of the Titans for Xbox, could be wrong. I think that's Crash Bandicoot's only appearance on the Xbox, 360 anyway. I might have to look that up. But don't take that as fact, because that's just a guess on my end. That's the only one that I know of about. Oh, maybe not. There is a Mind Over Mutant one too. See? Prove myself wrong right on video. So yeah, pawn shop, flat rate. They gave me basically $5 a piece. I can't imagine what they're giving all these people for their games to trade in. I would probably recommend not trading in your games to this place because you're not going to get anything for it. Why don't you trade it to VGX? Anyway, the second place we stopped at here in Jacksonville was a video game store, which I've done very well at before. I mean, this is Jacksonville is a smaller town, and a dedicated local shop like this. It used to be Video Gaming Fun, it was called, and it had an older guy in there, and got a ton. Guy's been there, he said, for over 20 years running this video game store. It really is cool to see something like that. I don't know if I could name another place that has been running a video game store for that long. And it kind of shows with the amount of stuff that they had in there and the games that they had in there at one point. We picked up Suikoden 2 there a couple years ago. It has, the older guy has retired. He sold it off. And it's a little bit better, or not so much big of a selection as far as rare stuff altogether, but still very good. I went in there and the glass case had a lot of cool things in there, and they had a special, which it might be a running special because a lot of these places do this, is a buy 3 get the 4th one free. And we picked up 4 of them, all out of the glass case, the rarer stuff. So we picked up Illbleed, which I think is a horror game for the Dreamcast. I'm not sure exactly. I've never played it, but I know it is the upper echelon of collectible Dreamcast games. Secondly, Digimon World 2, most hardest one to find, and might be. I don't necessarily need to know if that's the best one or not. I played the first Digimon World when I was younger, rented it, and thought it was okay. But after I had played Pokemon at that point, it just didn't compare. I think if I returned to it, it seemed much deeper of a game, maybe. But maybe that was just a load of bull that they just kind of made it obtuse and it really wasn't deep at all. I don't know. But Digimon World games on the PS1, actually I would say even the fourth one, across the board, they're all collectible. The ones on PS1, you're looking at $30 a piece. And I don't know what the fourth one's at. That was also multi-platform, so it could be higher than what it used to be, which was like $15. I'm guessing it's more than that now. But yeah, Digimon World games, DS ones too, are collectible, so look out for those. And the third one we got was Crash Bandicoot Collector's Edition. All three games, which it only comes with Crash 3, Crash Team Racing, and Crash Bash, which is like the Mario Party. So, absent from the whole Collector's Edition is the original and the second one, which are both very good. It's a little strange, but nonetheless, this one is a kind of a showpiece as far as collectors go. You can't find these complete like this anymore. This one in the Spyro one, I believe there's another one that is pretty pricey for these collector's editions, because these were kind of after the PlayStation 2 came out, I believe. It was really late in the PS1 cycle anyway, and they were just trying to squeeze more money out of the games that were already made. Much like right now, there is a lot of dual packs, trilogy discs for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 games. Eventually, in some time, you are going to see that those jump up in price. Those are going to be the collectible ones. Skyrim is not going to be collectible. Skyrim Complete, Legendary Edition, all that one has a chance. A lot of those other games, where like Uncharted 1 through 3, all in the same package, totally awesome. You should definitely get those. Even though if you've played them all, which you probably have, those are the ones that you probably want to invest your money in if you haven't. Just for the future's sake, you might get more money out of it than the original ones. But yeah, that was about it. We also picked up Mario Party for our fourth free game there. But nothing to really say about that game because I don't like Mario Party. Sorry.